Welcome to Avant-Gardist Leadership, a platform for global changemakers that shape and impact our society in a positive manner for the benefit of all. My name is Lili Jassemi, and today we have Johann Haehling von Lanzenauer with us, the initiator and founder of the Arts and Nature Social Club.
Hello.
Hello. Today we will talk about the importance of community building, about the behavioral guideline, the golden rule, do no harm, and about the importance of getting in touch with creation and nature. Welcome, Johann.
Hi.
So we're here in Berlin in the Hotel de Rome in the designated club room of the Arts and Nature Social Club. Could you please tell us about this wonderful club that you have initiated?
Yeah, the Arts and Nature Social Club actually is like a professional business members club, cultivating the core question of our time actually. How can we be a more coherent part of the global bio and geosystem again? Mm-hmm. So we had the idea to say, how can we solve that problem, the problems we have in our time right now, the whole like destruction, the resources going down, the water levels rising, CO2 problems, all those things. We have like a civilizational problem we have to approach. And as a civilization, we should see who are the people who are creating our problems, are the people who are in power, in industry, in science, and in politics. And we had the idea to bring together the opinion leaders from arts, science, and politics together, and entrepreneurship as well, to cultivate our core question.
Mm-hmm. And as a club, what do you organize and what do you offer?
We do offer inspirational salons. That's a thing we do on a regular term. It's like bringing together our core group and members and introducing them to interesting speakers, iconic people from science, entrepreneurship, but also in the arts. That's one thing we do. We create those beautiful inspirational evenings. Other thing we do is like cultivating empathy for nature, because we believe the first thing we need to do as a species is like to get back to our roots and to cultivate our relationship to creation. And the beautiful path to do that is to work with artists and to use their vision and perspective on life.
So you founded the Arts and Nature Social Club in 2018. What is your background? What is your life story that led you to the creation of that?
Well, I've been starting very young. I've been studying a few semesters of politics, and during my studies I founded an agency, which was a consulting agency for brands, as I had a background as a trend scout. And yeah, during my studies, my first client then was Nike, and I ended up being creative director for Nike for 5 years, and being responsible for the migration from the sports segment into the fashion segment. And from there, I've been working for dozens of big influential companies and institutions as a consultant, a brand consultant. And at a certain point, I followed my passion in arts and created an art gallery with galleries in Hamburg and Berlin, as well as in Los Angeles. And I've been representing and exhibiting the most influential, some of the most influential artists of our time, but also as well young artists and mid-career artists. Yeah, and from that perspective, after 20 years of work as a brand consultant and art dealer and curator in special and specific, I decided to go my next step in my life and to think about what could I do with all the experience I created to start solve the problem of our time.
And what is your function actually as Soho House? It's also a members club.
Mm-hmm.
Did it motivate you to create the Arts and Nature Social Club somehow?
I don't think it motivated me, but for sure inspired me. I've been a board member of the committee of the Soho House in Berlin since day one. I've been their first contact, so I have pretty much knowledge how a members club works. And I decided it would be interesting to create a similar structure, but which is more prolific on the core question of our time. How can we be a more coherent part of the global bio and geosystem again?
And what vision nurtured actually the creation of this club?
It was nurtured by arts and by artists, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I had an intrinsic motivation to do good and to help heal the world. Like all of us, we all try to find a way to create a better place on this planet. And I think my interaction with artists, spending time with them in the studio, setting up exhibitions, learning about their philosophy and world vision has been a big inspiration for me. To find a different perspective on life, because we tend pretty much as a species to run after values which are very short-sighted. Means like it's all about money, fame, power, those things which are pretty random actually.
Yeah,
and not
welcome to neoliberalism, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Which are not really relevant, to be honest, and not fitting in our actual time, because actually they are symptomatic of our huge problem. We are living in a mental tunnel, and we're not realizing what's really going on around us. We're not realizing the beauty of nature, the beauty of creation. We are not in touch with our own heart. That's where a huge problem starts as well. You know, we're pretty much focused on having a house, a car, a superficial relationship, money and power, but we're not focusing on creating empathy for the animals, for the plants, for our family, for ourselves, you know. And that throws us creating bigger cities, creating more industry, not looking around us, not having empathy for life.
You were mentioning nature, so actually I recently moved myself to Bavaria, and what I'm truly enjoying there, being in touch with nature and having a river just in front of my doorsteps. What is your connection to nature?
That's beautiful. Congratulations for
thank
Bavaria.
you.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's an amazing decision. Yeah, I've been living in Berlin for 25 years, but also in cities like Los Angeles, New York, London, Paris. So I've been seeing all this, and decided, like, intrinsically decided 2 years ago to move to the countryside. And I've been looking for a while where that would be, because I had the need to get out of the city, to get in touch with nature, with the tides, with the plants and the animals. I had like a very deep intrinsic motivation to do that. And after being looking in Malibu and south of Italy for places, I realized I come from a beautiful place in the Black Forest. Why I don't go there? Back to my parents' hood, and bought an old farmhouse in the area of Baden-Baden, where I'm living now with my partner.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And as I know, you also organize artist residency in this beautiful farmhouse of yours. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, one part of my lifestyle in that farmhouse is to invite people to stay with us, specifically artists, but that could go from a literate or a musician to a painter. Different people who come stay with us, they get a beautiful apartment and a space, a studio, where they can create in the context of nature. And that's something we want to share inside of the Members Club structure of the Arts and Nature Social Club as an inspirational platform.
And why do you think that art and nature, which are a recurrent theme in your life, why do you think they can shape a better society, especially that combination?
Yeah, I think arts and nature are the perspective on life, the work on reality, on the truth of life. Again, we are living in this kind of tunnel of digitalization and urbanization. We're really focused on our phone, on our work, on making money, on paying our rent. And that's not reality. Reality is the trees, the birds, the sky, the plants, the animals. It's our own heart, ourself. How many of us in front and behind that camera would say they know themselves, you know? It's a huge work we need to do to be in contact with reality. And for the aspect of arts, I believe the mission of the artist, naturally but also historically, is to work out and iterate what means reality in the very own and subjective manner, but that's the work of the artist, and that's what's fascinating me and inspiring me, that the artist is doing that work out of all the cliches and dogmas of our society. They work out hard on their own reality or the reality of the world, and that's something we want to integrate in the work and community of the Arts and Nature Social Club. We want to bring together the vision and the philosophical work of the artists in contact with entrepreneurs, scientists and politicians, just to open up the cliches, the dogmas, because that's hurting us, you know. To think in a box is hurting our civilization, and it's hurting the planet. And to try to be, to solve up that problem, we believe that the peer group we're creating at the Arts and Nature Social Club is breaking, maybe inspiring to learn having different perspectives on your business, to implement change for a healing planet, to create an industry which is creating less harm, to create industries which are using less resources based on the influence of science, obviously. So arts and nature, for me, are kind of the same thing.
So I feel you then. It's a beautiful, insightful, passionate statement that you make here, that art and nature actually depict reality and they can ground us in reality again, and they can shape a better society because they bring us closer to reality and also to an account of self-reflection. So given the fact that art and nature are the center point of your lifestyle and of your life work, what other priorities and values are guiding you?
Well, that's a difficult thing to talk about values and fixed dogmas and values. So I'm not a big friend of this. So I'm not religious as well. But I think something I believe in is like in try to be in contact with reality, to be in touch with life, how it is, and to accept it and to deal with it. That's one thing, to be awake. That's what I mean. And the other thing, which is I think crucial and which is like the main aspect of every world religion as well, is like to cultivate empathy.
And as such, cultivating empathy, what does it mean for you?
It means to iterate your relationship to yourself and to your peers and to other humans, but also to all other living beings as well. To iterate your relationship and to see how you can understand and see their needs and act in a way you don't harm them. And I probably am not perfect in this, and I think none of us, but I'm trying to iterate this every day and to be better. Yeah.
So the golden rule, do no harm, is also one of the guiding values in your life. And you think like businesses, but also individual people should stick into the golden rule in order to orient themselves in these times?
Well, I think people, I would never think that anyone should do anything. I would never think like that. We try as a club, as members club, we try to inspire people to find it out themselves. So it's never like this. It's always like we invite you in our circle, we create an inspirational situation. We're happy if you adopt our thinking and if you're inspired by the people we put on stage who deliver a solution in science and entrepreneurship. And I think that's a great tactic. And also I think it's important to understand that the peer groups that we create locally as clubs, as members clubs of opinion leaders, if we apply the same system in different cities all over the world, like in chapters, that's what we're working on, and it's the long-term strategy of the club as well, then we will probably have impact on the world. So what I try to say is like if we would have like between 30 and 50,000 different cities with their own clubs, and in those clubs there would happen the most amazing artists, scientists and entrepreneurs, and they cultivate, hey, how can we solve the problem of our time? And they would create like a nice, beautiful community of people who constantly meet up in a nice context, do business with each other, create friendships, or people who are inspired by a beautiful evening, a beautiful salon evening, or a nice movie we're showing, go back into their business and their life and families, apply their inspiration to a different structural change, a thinking change, a different way of leading, or implementing the use of resources, for example. If that would happen, I go back into the club, and then they, like, there's a psychosocial phenomenon called peer pressure. You know, if in this peer pressure they would come back to the club and they would tell their peers that they changed something in their company or in their family or in their life, that would be a great success, and that's what we're building on.
That's a beautiful vision, and it shows actually also that you're very busy, as you mentioned, to create international chapters.
Yeah.
So not only in Berlin, it started all here, but you're currently creating it internationally. While having an artist residency in Alsace. So you're a very busy man, and I'm very happy to have you here. I haven't seen you in many months. And how do you handle actually all that pressure? What do you do actually to take care of yourself?
That's a great and important question, actually. Sorry, we're in the interview. I take again, that's a great and important question. How can we manage our daily work? How can we create a beautiful life and work balance? That has been following me for a while because I've been running different companies and I've been, yes, it's true, I'm busy. Well, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be in dialogue with yourself. Means meditation is very helpful, being in touch with nature. The outdoor life, going outdoor in the forest and running is amazing. That's something I really cherish, or going hiking, biking, stuff like that. I have a dog which carries me out from my desk once a while when I'm sitting there in my farmhouse the whole day on the desk. And to have a strong and beautiful family and friends surrounding, which is carrying you emotionally, and it's never a one-way system. So the day you start to realize and to appreciate what you have, and you give feedback, and you can really build on that and be really stable in your life. That helps.
Thank you, Johann, for this insightful view into your life, into your thoughts, into your soul, I might say.
Thank you.
And yeah, before we finish, I would like to recap what we've talked about. We learned about the importance of community building, which is the red line in all your work. On an international and national level, you bring together a diversity of people in the Arts and Nature Social Club, from science, from entrepreneurship, from politics, and especially from arts. The behavioral guideline in your life is the do no harm rule for yourself. You do not try to force it upon anybody, but it is what you believe in, especially cultivating empathy for the living. And the third line was to connect to creation, to nature, because the connection, immersion to nature can ground ourselves and make us aware that we are nature ourselves.
Yes.
So in order to round up this beautiful discussion, I would like to ask you one last question. You were talking about we were talking about that we must know ourselves. So what is your life advice for self-reflection and introspection to know thyself?
That's a very important question, actually. Yeah, I mean, how can you be in touch with yourself? There's different techniques. You have meditation, you can sit in your bed and watch at the ceiling. But you can read philosophy, and you can get inspired, and you can get feedback from your friends. You know, that's something you can do. That would be over your family. I think that's very precious to have people you can talk to. Something we lose a lot. That's why also a social club is so important, because we need to be connected. We lose real connection. And the other thing is like to be to find your best friend inside yourself. You know, to be in dialogue with this guy or this lady, you know, like just to go there and to appreciate the opinion of the person who's inside yourself, and to take it as the most grant it as the opinion of yourself, and anything else is not important, I think. So what I try to say is kind of try to figure out what is your real and true opinion about yourself. And the day you realize that, you're independent of the outside opinions, and that's a huge liberation, you know. And I think that's very helpful to create a happy life.
Thank you, Johann. Thank you for this inspirational talk, and yeah, I hope to have the chance to chat up later with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us at Avant-Gardist Leadership, and hopefully see you next time.